magnify the Lord. This is Christine, and this is my dear sister, Lily.
Hi everyone.
And you have something to share today, right?
Yeah.
Something the Lord has put in your heart to
Yeah.
share for everyone about forgiveness.
Yeah.
That's difficult.
Yeah. I just want to share with everyone about my experience about forgiveness. Just give you a little background that I came from a family, a pretty big family, a sibling of, half sibling actually of 7, and I'm actually the youngest one. We have a different mom but the same dad. So what happened is that, when my dad passed away, so only me and my mom lived with a few of my brothers in the same house at the time. When my dad and my mom when my dad was still alive, I think the relationship between them wasn't even great either, between my dad and my mom. But after he passed away, I feel like it has gotten worse for my mom because one of my brother just kind of like very disrespectful to my mom. And at the time I was here in US, I was pursuing my college degree. And then from what I heard from my mom is that my brother trying to kind of, kick her out from the house, threatened her, and then, not wanting her to live in the same house with them anymore. And my mom is alone. She was like almost 60-year-old at the time. I just feel really, really sad. And I felt like I was very helpless in here. And I have to take care of my own, college degree, right? And I have to work and go to school. But then knowing my mom was being treated like that, it just a great pain in my heart, not knowing what to do. And I didn't have a lot of money at the time. I don't know how to help my mom. So the only thing is I can ask her is to go back to her family, her own family house, so she can live with her sisters and brothers. So that's what happened. But at the time I was so angry with my brother, the one who did that, and he caused her a great depression. Like, she was very depressed, and then her health just kind of went downhill, and she was diagnosed with Parkinson too. And Parkinson, a big part of what's driving the Parkinson disease is depression. The body, the health, she just felt literally hopeless. Imagine that she has spent 20 years contributing to that family, and at the end of the day, they just want her out, right? And when I was living there, I didn't see her doing any harm to them. It's just like a bad, dysfunctional family, you know. So, and I was holding that grudge for a long time. I really hate my brother, the one who did that to my mom. I think the grudge is pretty great in my heart, and I carry that throughout the years without knowing that I have been carrying that. I didn't talk about it all the time. I didn't really share much about this pain with other people, but I think I carried it. And after my mom moved back with her siblings a few years later, like maybe just 2-3 years, and then she passed away. And she passed away in a term where she just felt a lot of hurt, disappointment, depression, and I feel like, wow, it's just a bad way to end a life that way. And I just hated it. I was angry, I was mad, but I still have to move on. So I think the pain that I carry, the grudge that I carried, I felt like I wanted revenge, but I didn't really do anything about being vengeful to anyone. But I think I just carried that pain so greatly in my heart. And I think it's more than 10 years I carry that. You know that? Like, that happened in 98.
Yeah.
And then in 2016, that's when I actually completely surrendered to God, and I went to church. I just felt life was hard. I mean, of course, this is just an area of forgiveness that I'm giving you testimony, but there are other things that happened in life that wasn't very easy either. But they're good, they're bad. But I just want to talk about this area right now. So what happened is that in 2016, I remember it was in January 2016, I found my home church at the time. Came into the church just very like as a person that is pretty much hurt, like looking for something, looking for better wisdom, looking for healing, looking for Jesus, looking like, who is Jesus, like, who is this Jesus that people keep talking about?
Yeah.
And then I'm always being touched by the worship song, so maybe just like even like a month, not even a month, going to that church. During the worship, something always happened. I always cry. And I really remember one day, all this time I went to church this 1 month, I just say, Lord, I don't really know anymore. I just surrender to you. I think it was a complete surrender. So that 1 month, I remember there was one song. It was talking, I remember the lyrics is about resurrecting power, about his resurrecting power. And I felt during the worship, I felt like something like moving manifestedly, like physically in my heart, inside my heart, something like just kind of like moved. And I was like, what was that, And I was like, okay, I don't know, but I didn't feel pain. It was just good, nothing. It was not a pain. I just felt something moving, and then I just let it go. I didn't think much about it. And I remember after that, somehow I was in my car. I left the church. I was in my car alone. I thought about my brother, the one that I hated so much for a long time. And when I turned on the worship song in the car, I was just crying, but somehow I thought about him. And then suddenly that grudge was completely gone. Like, I didn't know how to hate him anymore. Like, wow. It was like, wow, that was like supernaturally gone. Like, it was just gone. And I felt like, at the time I didn't understand it. But now, not even now, just a few months later, I realized what was happening. Because it's not healthy for me to carry that grudge and carry that bitterness all along. Even though I didn't talk about it too much, even though I don't share this with everyone, but then it was there. It was deep in my heart, right?
Yeah.
And then subconsciously, you would be reacting to the world, to the situation, out of that bitterness, out of that grudge, then you will look at the world so differently too.
Yeah.
So I think that was what God really taking care of me without me really acknowledging that I really have to get rid of get rid of that grudge and bitterness in my heart. So He supernaturally take away that grudge, and I had nothing holding Him, or nothing that I have against Him anymore at the time. I just felt like all the time that I wished Him not well, when I was angry with Him, I couldn't do it anymore after that event. I feel like the Lord really resurrected my heart during that worship. It's really aligned with the lyrics of that worship songs. It's so powerful.
Very powerful.
It's so powerful. So after that, I couldn't even hate Him. I actually blesses Him. That was the first time I blessed Him. It's like, okay, what's done is done. I just want to bless Him then, And, time progressed, and now we are actually praying together. He always prayed for my family and me. So it was like a healing in my heart, that because it was so deep, I didn't even know how to even bring it up. But God knows. God knows the detail, every
Yeah.
detail in my heart, every detail, what's bothering us. He know the detail, and that was the first thing. He healed me, and He healed me supernaturally, even though without me understanding what happened. But He healed me.
That's amazing. Amen.
Yeah, it was. So I just want to share this experience with you. Sometimes there are hidden things that we didn't know. And as long as our heart really dwell in Him,
Yeah.
He knows, and He'll take care of it. And it happened to me, and I believe He does that to everyone, and to any other people. And it was very special to me that I didn't even understand about supernatural before, but now when I look back, there were so many things that we walk in the supernatural when we actually walk with Him together. That's why, one of the purpose of this magnified the Lord channel
Yeah.
is for us to share with you, and for you to share with everyone too. So we welcome anyone who want to share your experience too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And I think I just also want to pray that for everyone that going through the same thing like I did. I pray that you will experience the thing that I experienced supernaturally, or even God will give you the wisdom on why you have to forgive, and how to forgive. Things can happen at like an instant like me, but there is also wisdom that God is feeding you in a knowledge and understanding for you to be able to move on and not living carrying the grudge and bitterness anymore in your life. And Lord, I just pray that you will bless the people who watch and whoever need it. I pray that you will bless them, Lord. And we thank you, Lord Jesus. We thank you, Holy Spirit, for guiding us through our life. And we just love you. We magnify you. We worship you. We praise you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.